In today's video, I'm going to show you how to set up some of your preferences. This is one of the first things you should do with your students the minute they open up Fusion is set up these preferences. So let's get going here. As you can see, I got Fusion open. I'm going to go up here in the very tip top right corner to my little icon, and I'm going to drop down to where it says Preferences. So the main screen comes up, and I want to definitely make sure that I'm in English. I'm going to come down here and I want to skip launch items, create when live update. So I want to make sure that one is checked. The next one that you may have to change is this one, default modeling orientation. You're probably going to want Y up because you're going to want the X, Y axis. If you pick Z up, that's more if you're doing manufacturing. So we're going to stay with Y up. The next one, show tip tools or tooltips. Check that one. Show command prompt. You want that checked. Show default measure. You want that checked. Show in-command errors and warnings. Definitely hit that one. Now, the next one is for your pan, zoom, and orbit shortcuts. You can pick any one of these other CAD programs, but we're going to stay with Fusion. Orbit type, I like to do free orbit. And I'll show you that later in a later video. The last two things you're going to have checked is enable camera pivot and use gesture-based view navigation. I'm going to hit apply. And now I'm going to come over here to the side. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down to unit and value display. And I'm going to select on that. The thing I need to change the most in this, it's going to be right down here in the end. I want to make sure that I am in English, inches, pound, and PSI. All right, so you want to make sure you hit that. And then if you want, mine was already selected that. I'm going to hit apply. The next thing I'm going to drop down is where it says default units. You may have to open that flyout. I'm going to go design. Now, I always want my things to be in inches. All right, and I believe it's usually set up in metric. So yours may be set up in metric. So you're going to come down here and you're going to want to select inches. Okay, and everything should go with it. Next, we'll go down to manufacturing. I'm going to do the same thing. I want that to be in inches. I'll go to simulation and generative design, and I want that to be in English. So everything will be set up for me exactly what I want in here. I'm going to hit apply. Now, the last thing I want to do on this screen is I'm going to go to materials. And this is going to be all up to you. These are going to be the materials that your first project or all your projects will default to. And as you can see, it's going to be, we're going to use the Fusion material library. It's going to be a metal, and it's going to be made out of steel. The color is going to be metal and steel, and the name of the material is going to be steel satin. This is completely up to you on what you want to change. So I can come up here, and if I want to maybe change that to plastic, and I want to pick a certain type of plastic, I can pick ABS plastic. We'll stick with that one. Next, I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to go, instead of sheet metal, I'm going to drop down here, and I'm going to find plastic again. Actually, this time I'm going to pick paint and glossy because I can pick different colors. And in there, I'm going to come down here and I'm going to pick blue. That way, when my part opens up, it's automatically be made out of ABS plastic and it's going to be painted blue. And I'll show you that in a second. I'm going to hit apply. Now, you can just leave that as is. You can leave it as metal because we're going to show you later on how to change all those. So I'm going to hit apply and then I'm going to hit OK. Now, you can see that I have a part right here. And what it does, it looks like it's sitting on the grid. So there's something that I prefer to do. I like to see the grid only when I'm in 2D mode. That way I know I'm in sketch mode. I don't want to see the grid when I'm in 3D mode. So if I come down here to my timeline and I double click, well, there's my sketch. I can see the grid in 2D mode. I'm going to hit finish sketch. But if I come down here and I click on my 3D mode, well, I'm still seeing that sketch and I don't want to see that. I want a nice clean background. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here to these settings. The first setting I'm going to go to is visual style. I want to make sure that I see shaded with visible edges only. Okay, that's the one you want to choose. That's what you're seeing right up in here. The next one, I'm going to come over here to the second icon, grid, and I want to take out layout grid, snap to grid because you don't want to snap to the grid, and incremental moves. So it's only going to move a certain amount each time. I want to undo those. All right, so those are the settings I want to set. Now you can see that my background is nice and white. If I go back down here and I look at a sketch, boom, I can see my sketch mode. I'm going to exit out of this one. I'm going to make a new part so you can see what's going on. I'm going to come up here. I'm going to make a new part, and I'm going to grab my XY grid right there. Well, now you can see that I have my grid. So I'm just going to make a quick rectangle. I'm going to finish that. Oh, now you can see that I'm in 3D mode because the grid's gone away. So now I know that I'm in my 3D tools. So if I hit OK, now I can notice that my box, because I changed my materials, it's now blue instead of that gray looking color. This is just a preference that I like, but all the other ones are ones that you need to change. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and this is something you should do with your kids on the very first day they open up Fusion.